Hello, what's going on, you guys? Welcome back to the weekly current event show here at the aquarium. I guess what is known as currently Aquarium Studios. It's your boy Gumby, and to my right,
Riche.
Bella.
and of course we're here with Jelly, aka Jello Quake, doing great things today, wonderful things today. Thank you guys first and foremost, excuse me, for being here for episode 2 of the current. Episode 1 was a successful venture last week. We had a few people come out, whether it was from Twitch fans, YouTube fans, Patreon fans. So thank you guys. Thank you guys for coming through and supporting. Please continue to support. It is your energy that is the driving force for this channel and for these videos as we continue to make more content throughout the pandemic. Check us out on YouTube, youtube.com, the aquarium, Patreon, the aquarium, Twitter, wherever, Discord, aquarium. So check us out. That's what we're doing. But thank you guys. Thank you for being in. And don't forget to say what's up in the chat, say hello, all that good stuff. But yeah, let's get into it. Today, starting things off in the good old tank of the waters, the choppy, murky, brackish type waters. Today we are talking about Suengri. Former Big Bang member Lee Seung-hyun, known as the stage name Suengri, has been sentenced to 3 years in prison. Shit. On August 12, 2021, the star denied most charges during the court proceedings. The star denied most charges during the court proceedings, but was found guilty on all 9 charges. Oh shit, including overseas gambling, which he admitted to, but also said some charges including prostitution, mediation. Really quick to catch people up. I think that maybe if we go into it, they'll give. Okay, so if you guys remember, Suengri was the guy we talked about last week. I think we talked about last week with the conversation about how he was being roped into a situation that technically he had nothing to do with, but birds of a feather, the company you keep. And so I think it was what we established was because of Korea's, the way they hold their citizens in line to their rules, you're not allowed to gamble even if you're born a Korean citizen and you leave Korea to do, life. You're not allowed to gamble if you're considered a Korean citizen. So this is why he's getting caught and sentenced for 3 years in prison with the gambling charges. But now they're saying prostitution mediation continuing forward. The military court said the defendant Suengri arranged sexual favors for foreign investors on many occasions in collusion with his business partner Yoon Suk. Then they put their names out there and gained benefits as a result. So again, for those of you who cannot read between the lines quick enough, what this means is somehow, some way, the man in question, Suengri, set some things up, whether it was a hotel room or a bedroom or a private space for people to do private adult things, which is illegal. His crime of commercializing sex and violating our traditional custom has caused no small harm to our society. In court on Thursday, Judge Hwang Min-jae reportedly said, "It is hard to see the defendant was not aware of financial payments paid to the women for sex. It appears that he carried out a systematic sexual prostitution." All right.
Dang.
So all right. So I'm gonna start. I will start here saying this. As far as the way Korea holds their people in check, I'm not mad. Like, it's not my place to say so, but I'm not mad if what it is as a Korean citizen you cannot gamble. Then bro, you're risking it. When you go to Vegas, you're risking it. That's not a good idea to put yourself in that situation, but at the same time you could literally get your homie a hotel room and not ask what it's for, and now you're in a prostitution ring. It is that easy. So I'm not saying that he's not at fault. I'm not saying that I'm not taking sides, but if I had to, I would say that yes, you're accountable, but at the same time, it could really be that easy on this side of the pond to just walk into some stuff. I gave someone $20. Next thing you know, that $20, led to something, and now it's all it is because you gave this guy $20. So, it was wrong on your part, bro. Sucks. That really sucks.
Yeah.
But what do you guys have to say, weighing in on the Suengri situation? Dang.
I mean, for me, I agree with what you're saying. You're a Korean citizen. You were born there. You grew up there. Whatever. You know what the rules are. So why would you go somewhere else thinking, oh, I don't have to do, like, no, it says there, like, if it's illegal in Korea, you cannot get away with it in other areas. Like, no matter where it is, no matter if it's legal in the place that you're doing it, you can't get away with it. You can still be charged with those crimes. So it's like, you kind of set yourself up, but the other stuff, because we were definitely on his side last week.
Yeah, we were.
You were.
And now, like, hearing, I mean, I don't know what the proof is, but just, like, them, you know, saying that he was found guilty, like, they have stuff, you know, and, like, some proof, obviously, for them to say, like, specifically what was happening. Bro, sexual favors, man. I'm sorry, the Me Too movement has been a thing for some time now.
Yeah.
So it's like, I feel like you can't get away with that shit anymore. Like, no.
No. You just gotta know.
You just can't.
I mean, it would be like something to argue if it wasn't like getting a room for like out of town investors. You know what I'm saying? Had it been like, yo, bro, like let me borrow some bread. We're not gonna talk about what, but it's like you let me get a room. Like, come on, bro.
Set it up.
You know what's happening.
Yes.
We know what's happening. Yes. I need a room. We in Vegas. Go on. What happens here stays here. What are we doing? What is this?
Okay, wait. One of our peoples
In the chat.
says, while looking into the Burning Sun scandal, SBS Funny? Yeah. Sure. Had discovered videos dated from 2015 to 2016, as well as chat groups on the social media app Kakao Talk with Suengri, where the content was shared. Oh, snap. See?
So where he ended up getting in trouble is because he was in this group chat where people were sharing videos of girls getting sexually assaulted.
Yeah.
He never forwarded anything.
But he was there, though.
But he was in the chat.
He was silent.
Let me be the first to say, and I will say this because I know plenty of a Negro personally who have been in these group chats, and you know what I'm saying, I get it, guy talk and what private talk is, it is what it is, but at some point, someone has to be able to be like, all right, bro, look, like, if this is your little cousin, then come on, my nigga. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like don't, like, this is what we doing? You just, like, you passing stuff around? I get it. You know what I'm saying? Guys talk about, like, yo, like, this girl I got with, or this girl looks bad, then boom, there's her Instagram pic, da-da-da-da. I get it how guys, they converse and communicate. But at some point, like...
It's a bit much.
With all due respect, porn is free. If this is where we want to take it. It's free.
I don't understand the locker room talk. I don't get that. Like
because they say stuff that a lot of people would not approve of.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, why do you need a space for that? Is what I'm saying. Like, why is that so, like,
because
enticing for you?
They'll be in jail.
I understand that part, but I'm like, why? The part is I don't understand what's so exciting about saying those things. Like, why do you feel the need to say those things? Like, that's it, the psychological thing. Psyche. It's just like I don't understand that. Like, what's like?
It's like
hey, I murdered somebody the other day. Oh my god, want to hear the details? Like, that's what it comes off to me.
Right,
it's fucking weird.
It's a thrill for them.
Yeah,
because they probably are fucked up in the head to where it's a thrill for them. It's like, I want to be a I want to be macho too. I'm gonna be hard too, so I'm gonna do this, and so this. Oh my god, this adrenaline rush for this. I'm like, nah.
You coming off predatory, bruh. Like, no. That's why it's so weird to me, because locker room talk is so normal. That's why it's weird, because you wouldn't be out here just like, oh yeah, I murdered somebody, blah, 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 whatever. But locker room talk is so normal.
Right.
Like, what?
I think that culture, like, I mean, it is a very immature culture overall. Like, just, you know, like speaking in the locker room for any reason, regardless. But I think for guys, it's an ego thing. And I'm not gonna like take it the whole like, in this world men don't have a place. That's not fucking true. But I think for guys, it's an ego thing to be able to speak comfortably amongst guys. Like, just like there are several layers in our society. Women can speak to each other in a certain way that when men and women can't speak unless y'all have that maturity or that understanding. Yeah. There are just certain conversations you cannot have with someone of the opposite sex because you just can't. Yeah. So, like, again, in the literal locker room, high school, middle school, this conversation makes perfect sense. But when you get to the real world and it's group chats and it's this, that, and the third, it's at that point, it's birds of a feather because someone has to be like, all right, bro, look, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, this isn't cool. Honestly, I got roped into one of these, and not so much like a, whatever this is, but like, you know what I'm saying? This is the chick that I got with, you know what I'm saying, a few days ago, and you know what I'm saying, there'll be pics of her, whatever, you know what I'm saying? She's looking good, da-da-da-da. I think she's coming back in town, probably should I try to get at her type stuff. I'm just like, I'm gonna leave. Cause like, what am I gonna say? Yeah, bro, get at her, bro. Like, da-da-da-da. And then what? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Knowing how guys go, like, send us pics, like, videos or it didn't happen. I'm like, yeah, I'm good. Like, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a different energy. Like, if y'all are like lifelong friends, that's another conversation. So yes, like I feel like someone has to say something about that. You know what I mean? And again, this goes to show you when it comes to these kind of things, like what you allow in private, like, you know what I'm saying, is what you allow. Like, that's your character, bro. Like, so if y'all just gonna let that rock, and you thought it wasn't gonna come back to you, that's the issue. It always comes back. You just don't know how and when. You know what I'm saying? To what degree? Like, that's what it is.
And also another issue that he had is that Suengri was actually the co-founder for the company that owns the club, the Burning Sun Club.
Oh, that's worse. So it's like it's like an in-house human trafficking, digital media.
Because his money was tied up in it. The judge was like, "There's no way
that you didn't know."
Bro, yeah, it sounds like you sound like one of those like German racketeering situations that like we didn't see coming, but we should have knew because everyone had on mink coats. Yeah, that's what this sound like. That's crazy.
Yeah, no, there's no way. Yeah, but even at that, even if there was, not that there was no way, but like you still like had a blind eye to it if you didn't do anything about it. Like, there's no way. There's just no way. Like, if your money is wrapped in something, some type of company, you know what the fuck is going down.
You should.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I'm like, if you don't, then you're not doing business right.
No, you're not running your business.
You're
not handling your business.
Yeah. I would always want to keep my shit in check. What? So that shit like this doesn't come back to you.
Right.
Exactly.
No.
That don't make no sense whatsoever.
No. Well, following that, Prince Andrew. Okay. Ninth in line to the British throne, Prince Andrew is being sued, New York, by Virginia Roberts Giuffre. Thank you, Jelly. Because nope. She originally claimed in 2015 during Jeffrey Epstein's fall from Grace that she was forced to have sex with the prince while underage. What? But is now officially pursuing a civil case seeking damages in an amount to be determined at trial. Not only did Prince Andrew have a friendship with Epstein, that lasted for over a decade, ending only in 2011 when Epstein pressed charges against Prince Andrew's ex-wife for calling him a pedophile to distance herself from him after borrowing $27,000 to pay a debt. But in 2019, he was also forced to step back from his royal duties, an action fueled by his is that supposed to be reoccurring mentions in the Jeffrey Epstein saga and his apparent lack of sympathy for Epstein's alleged victims when he simply stated it didn't happen on his own accusations by Giuffre. Okay, so here's a photo with Prince Andrew, Ghislaine, God damn.
Gasoline. Gasoline Maxwell.
Okay. Here's a photo with Prince Andrew, Ghislaine, Maxwell, a British socialite who in 2020 was charged by the U.S. federal government with the crimes of enticement of minors and sex trafficking of underage girls, and an unknown thumb believed to be Epstein's taken at Maxwell's house. Oh gosh, so which one's which? That's
Prince Andrew.
Okay, and then that's Giuffre.
Maxwell in the cut.
And then
That's Maxwell. And this thumb here.
It's supposed to be Epstein.
It hasn't been confirmed, but people are saying that it's Epstein.
And
it was taken at her house.
Oh, her house. Okay.
First of all, it's 2021. There's 1,000 people with enough Photoshop experience that can zoom into that back window pane and find out who is in that. Don't play with me. Okay. Don't play with me. We're not doing that. Oh, it hasn't been confirmed. Shit. Yeah, what? Epstein's dead. We're not doing this. We're not doing. First of all,
allegedly dead.
Conspiracy brother number 3 over here. I'm gonna let y'all know straight up that human sex trafficking child situation is a real thing, and that is why a lot of this stuff is going down right now. So Prince Andrew, Maxwell, whoever, Epstein, all of it's happening because it actually happened. People are actually like, imagine if we came out and said the royal British throne was wrapped up in the child trafficking pornography ring that not only gives us the money we need for entertainment, but the same for cops. And like, come on, bro, like, come on. Like, people wouldn't believe you, and if they did, like, they wouldn't stand for it. So someone has to take the fall. Someone has to be quiet. Something has to happen, but it has to be a major shift. Shut down the world for what, 2+ years? Like, I'm telling you, we can get to the conversation. Long story short, though. This sounds really sketchy already. Continue. Super sketch.
Civil cases such as these rarely reach the jury trial stage and are instead more commonly resolved through summary judgment or by settlement. But since he is on record as saying that he had nothing to do with her, any effort to settle at this point would appear to be a statement that there is some truth to her allegations. I mean, you should always... Wait, you said celebrities being forced to keep their mouths shut just to keep their livelihood. Absolutely. That's why I just find it, well, I don't find it interesting. I'm just like, yep, I tend to see this happen all the time. It doesn't go to trial. It doesn't get this whole thing, investigation being done, nothing. It's either, let's pay you to shut your mouth, or I have power over you because I have more money. So no matter what, nobody's going to believe you, and my career is going to be just fine. You're going to look like the liar. And it's like, what? I'm sorry, but what happened to the justice system? They're people too.
Yeah.
Like, they are people too. So I just don't understand why they're not getting the same, or at least everybody isn't getting the same effort in bringing justice to light. Like, I don't get it. I don't understand.
They be paying people off and they got money.
Yeah, that's what it said. Yeah,
right, hush money.
Yeah, so that's why I'm like, I'm sorry.
Because everybody's selfish, man.
This is why we so fucked up out here, because literally money moves everybody. Absolutely everybody. Money is made up. It's made up.
It's an incentive.
I was like, it's like people, you can just be bought. Like, what's the number to where you can be bought and they gonna buy you?
I mean, that's the world we live in right now.
Who are you?
Yes, exactly.
Like, what is your principles and what do you stand on?
Yep. Do you even have beliefs? Do you even have morals?
Like, none. Can't be.
No.
Because I'd be like, nah, fuck that.
You are a product because you can be bought. That's literally who a lot of the people are, and it's just very, very, very sad. It's unfortunate.
I wanted to go back to the okay, so Prince Andrew's ex-wife called him a pedophile.
Prince Andrew called after it was found out that Jeffrey Epstein was doing these things. They started looking at the people who's been to his island, who was around him. Obviously. And Maxwell was one of those people.
Right.
And it was on record that she had borrowed $27,000 for him because she owed somebody else the money. And when they questioned her about it,
was that Maxwell or
Maxwell, the girl.
No, I'm talking about the Prince Andrew's ex-wife.
Yeah, it said
that's
that
what
she
I'm
was the
talking
one
about.
that called. It said that the ex-wife for calling him a pedophile.
Yeah, that's what I'm not talking about the girl. I'm talking about like.
So who did she
other than the name that I got wrong, it's the same thing. Prince Andrew's ex-wife borrowed $27,000 from him.
From Epstein or Prince Andrew?
From Epstein. To pay off a debt that she owed. And when she was asked about it and questioned about it and was doing the whole press thing about that, she called him a pedophile, said I have nothing to do with him, blah, 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 blah. And then Epstein sued her for slander and defamation. And then that's when Prince Andrew was like, we're not friends anymore.
And the ex-wife is the person now that's...
No.
Maxwell's a
she was just the connection in the conversation.
Yeah. That's why I was like, what is happening right here? Because I'm like, I want to know about this.
I think they're just basically saying that like
other people
Andrew and Epstein have been friends for so long that when his ex-wife came through with this situation, you know what I'm saying? Like this is the response. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, basically it's like somebody in your household found out what the you've been doing.
Exactly.
And now it's
And
like, I
it.
can't be your friend no more, bruh.
Yeah.
I can't do this no more. And that's why I wanted to go back to. I was like, so your wife had to call you out. Basically, she had to call your friend out, just to call you out so you can dip out.
Yeah.
I feel like it's like when you get up to that level where money like runs the conversation, it's kind of like I'll borrow money from you if I keep my mouth shut, but at the same time, there's nothing to keep me from keeping my mouth shut.
Yeah.
So
I wonder what she borrowed it for, like.
That's the question.
But why she borrowing from him and she got a whole prince as a husband?
Yeah.
That's why I was like, that's why I was like, this story don't make no goddamn sense.
Seems kind of weird because it's like, why are you borrowing from somebody that you believe to be a pedophile, or you have questions about it?
Well, all that didn't come out until after.
But I'm saying is, are you around him enough? Like, did you know? That's what I'm saying.
Right.
Like,
I wonder if
she knew about it. Like,
did she know
if she knew before? Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Why would you borrow money? Was that a conversation between y'all? Like, if you give me $27,000,
yeah, because that's not no.
I won't say nothing.
That's not no drop in the bucket, right? That's not no drop in the bucket. $27K.
Maybe for him it was,
but she had to pay another debt though. She was asking that money to pay another debt. Like,
yeah, and that's what I'm
but
like,
you got a whole husband.
Mm-hmm. But that's what I'm saying. I'm like, why? It just seems really fishy because it's like, why are you borrowing?
Oh, here's the truth though.
Okay.
What is it? So this, where should, right there?
The Duke. Oh, go.
Okay, so the Duke of York discussed his controversial relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. That relationship became even more complicated after the royal orchestrated a plan for Epstein to pay off $19,000 worth of family debts. These belonged to his ex-wife Sarah Ferguson, who racked up huge debts through lavish spending and ill-fated business deals.
So it was both of them. It was both of them asking him for money.
It was her debt.
But he was asking.
Yeah. To do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Duke of York. That's money.
You a lie. I'm not broke. I'm not going bankrupt, nor am I giving up.
Jesus Christ.
Who said that?
Ferguson.
Yeah, that's wild. This is crazy. I'm like, what?
Made after he had served time for sexual offenses against a minor. Wait.
After? Got you.
In the end, she managed to avoid bankruptcy in part because of the $19,000 bailout from Epstein made after he had served time for sexual offenses against a minor. So,
wait, he already been to jail?
It looks like he was already in jail. And then when she was asked about it, that's when she was like, I don't like pedophiles, and started calling him a pedophile.
She said it after he got locked up.
After he got locked up and after she got the money.
Yep.
Okay. Wow.
But at the same time, basically they did it together. I was like, why?
Yeah, they did it to each other.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about Prince Andrew and the wife. They asked him together, basically. Yeah. What Andrew asked for his get the money.
It's kind of hard for me to believe that when the prince or not, you out here comfortably asking for $27K from someone that you not with. Like that's, you know what I mean? Yeah, so
that's why if you're that close, then you know what the fuck is going on.
Oh hell yeah, that's your best friend.
That is weird. Yeah.
All of your debt's not gonna magically disappear, and I don't ask questions.
But that's
you know
also,
what I'm saying?
But that's also why people were talking about Trump too, because there were so many pictures of Trump at Epstein's parties, and it's like
we already fucking.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's still it's the same like connection. If you're seen with somebody happily for years, you're seen around them enjoying their time and stuff, you know what the fuck is going on. And also, we all know about how fucking weird Trump is.
Or at least you know not to ask questions about, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, when you come in the houses, that one door you don't open, okay, we know he got that one part of the island that we don't talk about, we don't go to. What's the backwater? Shut up. We don't talk about the backwater part.
Yeah.
All right, right. That's, everyone knows.
Yeah, you know what.
There's no way. There's no way we're flying to an island and all of us, come on, bro.
And I'm like, this is something that's been going on for years.
Almost generations.
For years. There's no way you don't know what's going on.
2001, bro?
Lying to yourself.
That's a generation ago. That was 9/11. 2001 was 9/11, bro. That's how long ago that was.
That's
20 years.
That's
20 years. You know what the fuck is going on.
That's your best friend out here.
Right.
You can just ask your friend for that much money. He'd be like, yeah, here you go. What?
That's a lot.
Yeah, no, that's weird.
That's a whole
All
bunch.
right. Yeah, this. Yeah, I don't. All right, let's keep it going because that was dumb as hell. All right, let's get to one of many actors that are. He's just great, and he kind of like disappeared and all that stuff. And I want him to come back, and I think he's coming back. Brendan Fraser. Sorry. Woo. Brendan Fraser. Acting king of the 1990s and early 2000s. Y'all, Monkey Bone was my shit. Okay, Brendan Fraser is
Hopefully.
wait, what?
Hopefully.
Oh, hopefully. I was like, that don't. Brendan Fraser is hopefully starting a comeback renaissance. Fans are calling the Renaissance. Back in 2003, America's Never Forgotten the Treasure reveal began wrote by former president of the Hollywood Foreign Press Association, Philip Burke, saying his left hand reaches around, grab my ass cheek, and one of his fingers touches me in the taint. And he starts moving it around. Ugh. Yeah. Just, I hate it so much.
Keep your hands to yourself.
Right. Okay. Since revealed that and several personal events, his career spiraled downward, but it looks to be back on the rise. Thank you, God, because he was great. No Sudden Move, Behind the Curtain of Night, The Whale, and the Martin Scorsese's child. I don't know what that is. Killer of the Flower Moon with Leonardo DiCaprio and Robert De Niro are some of the recent projects he has been involved in. During a virtual meetup, with a fan this week, he got choked up over her words of support. Aww.
I'm excited.
It's muted.
She
Yeah,
got
play it on her phone.
Oh, we're going. Okay.
That's better. I love it. I'm gonna work with Scorsese and Leo and Bob De Niro.
Yes, I saw.
Not
Congratulations.
Bob De Niro.
Thank you.
That sounds disrespectful.
A little anxious.
Oh no.
I mean, it's gonna be fun.
You got this. You got this. Just know that the internet is so behind you. We're so supportive. There are so many people out there who love you, and we're rooting for you, and we can't wait to see what you do next.
Aww.
Shucks, man.
I want to see him and Matt Damon in a fight. Let's do it.
Jesus. I'm like, he has all these like happy pappy like roles and stuff, and
I feel like Brendan Fraser will come through with some heavy elbows. Like, he'll pick you up and we'll see you hit with the Doom Patrol. You better.
that makes my heart happy. Good
That's
for
what's
him.
up. Yeah, welcome back, Fraser.
Yes,
Brendan
we
Fraser.
have your love and happiness.
I'm glad that we get to have him back and that he actually gets to come back because these people that are keep sexual harassing people are getting caught and we not down for the shit, and he's still in this generation to where we are behind him 100%. Like, don't fuck with Brendan Fraser. Ugh.
Right,
But don't be touching on people. Just stop touching on people.
It's sad when somebody talks about a situation that is a very uncomfortable thing to talk about, especially to a man. Like, that is so hard for a man to open up about a sexual situation
Molestation,
where
period.
it makes a man look weak in society's eyes, and it's like, no, you could. No, not when obviously your career is on the line, because what happened? People kept trying to blacklist him. He wasn't getting casted for things because he opened up about something that was a traumatic, like, situation for him. What? Like, I am very happy that they are getting their fucking shit, get caught, get your lives ruined because you're ruining this man's life. He's talented, he's brilliant, he's amazing, he has such a good soul, and I'm happy that he's back because fuck y'all.
Right.
Fuck y'all.
Oh, Mrs. T, you are that young and we are that old.
Yes.
It's both.
I agree. Honestly, though, too, with this as well, again, like, well, maybe we just grown on this side, but what happened to just asking people? Like, yeah, I mean, Brendan Fraser, he was young, grown. But young, you could have slipped in his ear like, Mr. Fraser, back to my house for a night. It would have said no. It would have been that simple. That easy.
But y'all know that the generation before us.
Oh, yeah, they weren't.
Did not.
Yeah, they were slipping their hands in your pants on some old, you coming back home with me type stuff.
Yeah, they.
Like, yo, yeah, it was,
it
was weird. Yeah.
Like, they will touch on you.
From here on out, how about you ask for consent? Because you don't know what people are down for.
For sure.
You don't know.
Got it.
So ask people for it.
I understand that as well. When it comes to business and when it comes to entertainment, when you're in a place where money or status rules the world, a way to show power is to physically domineer and dominate people. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's you walk up to them and you shake their hand and pull them in, or smack someone's butt, or you know what I'm saying, like guys, you walk up to a guy, you end up like, for guys even these days, if you're the guy who's walking up and getting a little too close to the other guy, that's a show of confidence and a show of power these days. I know it sucks to say, but it is, because some guys are like, yo, bro, you so close. Like, what's up with you? And other guys are, oh, my bad. I didn't even see you there, bro. You know what I'm saying? Next thing you know, it's like, if the other guy is not mature enough to handle the situation, now it's like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but honestly, like, it's a little crazy because how powerful people really are by just word of mouth. So, like, you can't say no to your career. If this is your dream, it's going to be real hard to say no to somebody who literally has your whole career in the palm of their hand. Right. They could just, word of mouth, just be like, well, this person was really disrespectful. I wouldn't cast them. You're not going to look too good if you cast them. Right. That's literally all it takes.
Or like, you owe me a favor, and that favor is not casting this guy.
Yeah, that's all it takes. That's all it takes. So no matter what, like, him not saying something, him saying something, they would have had him no matter what. And that's what's so, like, it's just heartbreaking. Do you want
to? And that's the same thing that happened to Terry Crews, right? Him and his wife was at a party and at an industry function wasn't last year, a couple of years ago, a high-level Hollywood executive came over to him and groped his privates. Jumping back, he was like, what are you doing? My wife saw everything, and his wife saw everything, and they looked at each other. Wait, what? In his words, this is what he tweeted. My wife saw everything, and we looked at him like he was crazy. He just grinned like a jerk. I was going to kick his ass right then, but I thought twice about how the whole thing would appear. 200 pounds black man stomps out Hollywood honcho would be the headline the next day. Only I probably wouldn't be able to read it because I would be in jail. So we left that night, and the next day I talked to everyone I knew that worked with him about what happened. He called me the next day with an apology, but never really explained why he did what he did.
Wow. But see, he had to think about it because of his career and him being a big black man.
And where he was at.
Like, yeah, exactly. That's what the... I hate the world.
Yeah.
Like, I just hate how this world works. How it moves. It's
I don't
really
care for Terry Crews, but you know.
Yeah, but
that's still fucked up.
Exactly. He's still human. I don't need to be on any, like, I don't need to be a big fan of anybody to say that he didn't deserve this. Like,
I know it's about it. It's a whole different situation with Terry Crews and black women, so we ain't gonna go there.
It's just
that's a whole situation. But that was still fucked up. Like, how dare you just come and touch me? Like, I've been touched before. I'm like, nigga, I don't know you.
Yeah, it's just,
and then my friend looking at me like, oh my god, girl. I'm like, why are you looking at me? This nigga's touching me. You like, oh my god, Shay, like I did something.
Oh no.
And I was in shock, and I like froze, and then I just walked away, and like in tears, and I went to the back. It was like at a thing.
Makes you
I was like,
question yourself.
Right? It's like, what the fuck just happened?
See, that comes to you're just asking for it, or you wanted it without actually saying that you wanted it type of thing. That shit is so annoying. Like, no, sorry. Without actual consent, it's not a thing.
Yeah, so...
What? Oh, you want to say... Wait. Brendan Fraser is so wholesome? Yeah, of course he is. Of course he is. That's why he needs to be back. Like, and this is why we miss him. And the fuck, like, y'all just stupid out here.
I already said my favorite one. So which one y'all favorite movies of Brendan Fraser?
Okay. So, it's so hard because I've only seen like 5 of his movies.
Yeah.
He's done a lot. Mm-hmm. But I've definitely seen Monkey Bone. That shit is great.
I had that shit on tape.
That shit is great. I've seen Bedazzled. I loved that because that was really fun to watch. Also, Elizabeth Hurley is not in a lot of things, or at least from what I've seen, so I enjoyed that movie.
Right.
And then All the Mummies. Come on now. All the Mummies that he did. Like, great. Love him.
The Mummy series. I mean, he's in a few good movies, but the Mummy series for me, like, there's no other conversation I have with Brendan Fraser but the Mummy series.
Right.
For real. Like, honestly, I feel like, I'm not saying, like, with all the things he did do, yes, but I feel like in the early thousands, in my mind, that solidified his career. If he didn't do anything past the Mummy, I would be okay. I would honestly be okay. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I would have wanted more. Like, if he somehow died, like, after the Mummy 3 or whatever, and just died, I'd be like, fuck, but at least we got the Mummy. Brendan Fraser.
Well, I mean, they tried to probably kill him off. Shit.
Probably.
They tried, but he's back now.
Also, he's great in Doom Patrol. If you guys haven't watched Doom Patrol, he's actually really good in that.
Never seen it.
Great, it's a good show.
Oh, it's a show.
Yeah, it's a DC show. He's a character who, long story short, he loses like his entire in an accident, loses his entire body, but the doctor saves his brain and hooks him up to like a robot. So now he's like minimal, like moving, and he can't move his mouth or whatever.
Voiceover.
But he's voiceover for like a robot. But his character is really good. Like, super asshole, and then has to change his life around. It's wonderful.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
Yay, Brendan Fraser, come back.
Yes.
George of the Jungle was fun. George of the Jungle was fun, but it does not beat the Mummy. George of the Jungle was good. And honestly, George of the Jungle was the funnier version of Mighty Joe Young. So as a kid, I was just like, Mighty Joe Young. Like, George of the Jungle was mad funny.
I watched George of the Jungle.
It was mad funny, but Mighty Joe Young was like the more like, oh, this is the story. But neither of them were King Kong. So I was just like, this is just like what we get until we get King Kong.
I will say I only watched that once and I never watched it again.
George of the Jungle?
No, I watched it.
I watched it once. I didn't watch it again.
I didn't watch it again. Rock Hard Abs, Brendan Fraser.
That
was my
I wasn't attracted to him. I just thought he was hilarious.
You know what?
And he has the best facial expressions ever.
For
He's
sure.
so animated.
Yeah,
love that part of him. That's why I love The Mummy, because even when he like needed to be serious, there were some like crazy faces he'd make, and I'm like,
he gave me like if Disney actors grew up, this is what Disney expects from you. Like low key.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
As funny as George of the Jungle was for me, I never laughed harder at a movie than I did Bedazzled.
Bedazzled was fun. Really good.
Were you about to throw a pillow at me?
No, just fly.
Oh my
I just
god.
don't want it there. I'm sorry. It's killing me. I've like for the last 5 minutes I've been watching it circle. Like just this one spot.
Jesus.
Oh my god.
I was like, what is
It's like it was just circling. Anyway, because I'm trying to look at the chat. Every time I do it's just
Yeah. It was just sorry, this is off topic.
Oh, Nathan. Nathan's the one that he's the community person. He's the one that loves community, has like 7 community tattoos on him. Yes.
Nice. That's dope.
Wow.
Dedicated.
Cool.
Cool.
We're just getting into it. Cool.
Cool.
I was the office, so I'm getting into community.
I still haven't gone into the office.
It takes.
But yeah, Bedazzled, even though it was a remake,
It was great.
Top notch.
Yeah.
Like,
I just watched it.
I never laughed so hard on like some of these movies, on like some of like the characters he had to play. Like when he had to play like the tall basketball guy with the small penis.
Oh
when he
my
had
god.
the drug lord.
The drug lord.
The flaming homosexual when he thought he was straight.
It was the drug lord for me.
God.
Yeah. Oh, that was hilarious too. Oh, the homosexual part was hilarious. Yeah. But the drug lord one had me so weak.
You're correcting me? I'm sorry. But he said, no, I am obsessed. Okay. Glad we established that.
But yes, all praise to Brendan Fraser.
Hell yeah, we're ready for you to be back.
Come
We're
back
ready
to
for
us.
you.
Thank you.
For sure.
All right.
All right, let's get into the next topic.
Oh, gosh.
Emma Stone has closed the deal with Disney. Oh, Miss Cruella. To star in the sequel to Cruella. The movie is significant because it comes during the turmoil caused by Scarlett Johansson's lawsuit against Disney over a compensation for Black Widow, which, like Cruella, debuted day and night in theaters on Disney and on Disney Plus.
Day and date.
Oh, day and date. Excuse me, I said day and night. Day and date in theaters and on Disney Plus. A day and date release is when a film becomes available in theaters, DVD, and VOD or video on demand, all on the same day, everywhere. Black Widow, whose release was delayed more than 1 year amid the COVID-19 crisis, opened in early July in theaters around the globe as well. Around the globe as well, and Disney Plus Premier access for the additional $30. Who paid? Anyway, Johansson, who got paid $20 million for her role as Black Widow, filed her lawsuit stating that Black Widow had been guaranteed a wide theatrical release when she signed her deal with Marvel, and Disney sacrificed the movie's box office potential in order to grow its streaming service by releasing it on Disney Plus the same day. Cruella, Raya, The Last Dragon, and Jungle Cruise have all had day and date releases as well. We don't know the exact terms of the actor's contract, but Warner Media says it publicly paid talent more than $200 million in lieu of box office backends. How do you think this will affect the actors' approach to movie deals with companies that own or frequently put their movies on streaming services? Is this changing the game?
Contracts. Like contracts. Like I don't know what the contracts were,
But
you know.
they keep breaching it though.
Well, that's what like.
The question seems like, what's the point of making a contract if, for whatever reason, there's a fine enough line for when literally the entire face of streaming changes. You know what I'm saying? There's no like we need to amend the contract. It's just, well, technically, according to what we said, it still falls within the line. It's like
and that's the thing, like having.
You gonna have to
contracts. Like you're gonna have to
put contracts about the streaming service.
Exactly.
Oh, if it's gonna do day to day, I need the coinage from the streaming and from the box thing.
Yeah, or at least come up with like a deal of how much you're willing to take from that and whatnot. So if it gets this amount of money, I'm willing to take a certain percentage of this or whatever. Having contracts on top of contracts, because if they're finding a loophole, you need to close that loophole. So that's what it's gonna have to be. Like, yeah, like I'm sorry, y'all been in the industry for a pretty long time. So it's like y'all need to save yourself, save your career, save your money. Like if you really mad about stuff like this, like you need to find a way to not allow this to happen as often. But yeah, I feel like this is gonna be a really like a consistent thing. So they're gonna have to just figure that out with their agents and managers and whatever. Have them come up with those.
I think, is it only Warner Brothers that's doing this?
I mean, well,
this
for
might be a
now,
new thing,
but I feel like, you know, kind of like how like Redbox was the thing and then Netflix now, Amazon Prime, you know, so how like we kind of run in trends. I feel like now what's stopping every actor from, you know, saying making that thing. But at the same time, I feel like, go. You go.
I feel like if it's Warner Brothers by themselves that's fucking up, everybody else is going to go elsewhere.
Just Warner Media.
If Warner Media is fucking up, then everybody else is gonna go elsewhere.
Because what Warner Brothers is doing is that they were the ones that were bought by AT&T. So all of their movies are coming out on HBO Max.
Regardless, period.
Right. So they were already doing that, and that pissed off a lot of industry people because a lot of the production companies and people who put money into getting the movie had deals for theatrical box office backend, not streaming.
Yeah.
So with them putting it on streaming and during the pandemic,
they
with people not wanting to go to the theaters,
Yes,
that would, like what was going on
Yeah.
with Scarlett, diminish the amount of money they get from box office because people would just stay home.
Right, which
like,
is my
I want to
contract.
know
Right.
if the people that had these deals with them, are they gonna leave and go somewhere else to where this company is gonna be like fucked?
I mean,
that's what I'm thinking, but I doubt it. But
Yeah, I feel like because it's such a new thing, like it needed to happen in order for this to be a conversation. So I feel like with that being a thing, I feel like it's not going to make people want to go somewhere else necessarily. It'll just make them rethink how they approach doing business with them.
Right. That is true.
Yeah, I agree. Before we move on to the next part, I will say that it does suck that this is a situation. Contracts got to be written a little bit better, but I think there needs to be a I can't speak on contracts. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like there needs to be a stipulation where, like, if we're going to literally change the way, if something like this were to happen again, and we're going to literally change the way that we're going to make the money off the back end because we put the money into the movie, then there needs to be a way where even if we don't get 100% back, we're at least allowed to like 60, 70% of that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
There should be a way like for that to happen. But again, that would mean that in the industry, we're actually trying to make sure we pay people instead of like just make movies. You know, when you're trying to pay people, it takes longer time for things to come out because we're putting our resources into the people who made it happen, not into like the cameras that can record it. And then let's just into the cameras that can record it. Like, no, let's let the people rest. Let's put some money into the folks, director, producers, the AD, the talent, whoever. So I think hopefully this leads into a situation where us being the tastemakers today and Gen Z and Alpha being the tastemakers tomorrow, it leads into an idea that we need to make sure that we are taking care of our people before the movie's made. We shoot the movie in 2020 or 2022. It doesn't come out to 2028 because we're taking care of our people. You know what I'm saying? We're not going to have you rush it out this year. Like, take the time. If we're going to do a Marvel movie, let's do a Marvel cinematic over the course of 10 years. Take the time. You know what I'm saying? Because so at least now, when people want to get on that set, you know what I'm saying? Or when they're associated with it, it's not like, oh, because Disney's rich. It's because Disney takes care of us.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Coming from the industry, that's important. The people who take care of you is very important.
Exactly.
But we can talk all day.
Yep.
Let's get into the next part. Free Guy, starring Ryan Reynolds. Free Guy, which opened this weekend at Marvel's Shang-Chi. The Legend of 10 Rings that opens in September 3rd of this year will have an exclusive theatrical release for 45 days. Wow, that's like a month though. That's like basically if you give HBO Max next month, for sure. Got it. Walt Disney Co. CEO Bob Chapek said the studio is sticking to its plan for those two films, despite a dramatic resurgence of COVID-19 cases that are largely due to the Delta variant, and also stated that Disney has entered into hundreds of talent arrangements with their talent, as we said, and by and large, they've gone very, very smoothly. I think
somebody thought about it.
Yeah.
So it's funny, I saw some articles earlier today about the whole Shang-Chi or Shang-Chi and the 10 Rings being an experimental situation, like this movie, and I think this is what they were referring to as far as, we're trying to see if we can put it in theaters for 45 days, da-da-da-da. I feel like, as much as you want to be fair with the movie, I feel like it'd just be better if you're just like, yo, how about whatever y'all get in theaters, y'all keep 20% of that, and then we keep the rest. Just make it a way where we stop trying to make people go out to the theaters to watch the movie. With all due respect, I get some people do, but most people can watch it from the crib.
But at the same time, these contracts were already made before all of this COVID situation.
Right.
And so now they need to maneuver how they need to maneuver. So they was like, all right, we're going to see what this 45 days going to look like.
Yeah.
And if it's not, then I feel like, all right, let's go to the streaming services and get your coin. Yeah. And I think that's what's going to happen.
It's also the theaters trying to stay in business, too.
Theaters
are not trying to go out of business, Also, that would just completely make everything super digital, and I feel like they're not trying to completely do that right now. But also, they're trying to force reopening anyways because of COVID. So it's like, even though we would safely, because of safety, we would want to, not have all this reopening, but that is out of our hands. So this is why it's happening this way. But I do appreciate the fact that they had that conversation and, they're talking about it and they're doing it in a way where it's, it's separating kind of both. Like, we're going to do exclusively with the theaters for right now, and then later on, after, a good time has spent, will do it on the streaming services or whatever the heck they did. But
I hate to say it, but I really think that it would be a better idea to cut the losses with the theaters. I hate to say it, and I'm from the generation where we grew up in theaters. We grew up skipping from movie to movie. That's what we did. So it's as much as I want to have the theater experience, I want to get the popcorn, I want to go out to the big boom sound, I'd much rather just in my brain, it makes more sense to have us just be more consumers, since we're talking capitalism, where we can buy speakers, where we can buy the TVs for our own house. We can set our own houses up in that way, and y'all can make it accessible for us. You can sell the home theater system for whatever amount of money, rather than, especially during this time.
That's not what they selling.
I know. Yeah. Especially during this time, trying to get people to come out to the thing. And again, maybe I'm just thinking of it from because I'm so much closer to the ground. I'm not in the executive stance. I'm not in the boardroom. I'm not with the money stance. It makes less sense to me to try to force people out of their homes to go see movies in the middle of a pandemic that's still raging on. You know what I'm saying? It's I get the 45 days.
The thing is, they already know how America is, and they don't. Yes. America don't give a fuck. So yeah,
for sure. No,
keep
for
that
sure.
45 days because these people are gonna go out anyway, and they're gonna do what they want to do. They're gonna wear their mask. They not gonna wear their mask. They're gonna get the vaccine. They're not gonna get the vaccine. It ain't gonna matter because guess what? They are trying to push these governors out that's trying to mandate stuff. But then, they giving them a hard time to where, all right, let's open up because then they're going to try to take my job away situation. So, they already know. They was let's just do the 45 days and you get our little coin up. Because, people want to see this movie and people going to go out regardless of the Delta variant or all these. They're going to go out regardless. So, go ahead. Get that good old 45 days in. Let's rack up everywhere we can get. Thank you very much.
So now that we're having a conversation, that after the 45, let's say the 45 thing is successful. Maybe obviously not at the same volume of money and traffic as it would have been pre-COVID, but let's say to a fault they're making a good amount of money. What's the next step? It is us coming from an amateur's perspective. I want that to be known. We're not distributors here in the industry. It's not what we do.
I would just start streaming it like it used to be. Have it be in theaters. How long it usually in theaters?
Well, I feel like now it's not.
I think back it could have been 40. It could have been a month, 2 months, and then depending on if it's still in the top 5, top 10, then we keep it going type deal.
But I feel like they're lasting 2 weeks. Now.
Yeah, I feel now it's 2 weeks at max. Literally, if I can binge the energy.
Because people used to go watch it 2, 3, 4 times.
Exactly, because then it was your only way to watch it.
Right. Yeah. So I feel keep that 45 days and then stream.
Yeah, that would make sense, especially just knowing that they do want to stream it. It would just the movies aren't staying in the theaters for long anyway, so it might not even hit the 45 days, to be honest. It might just come out sooner because they're going to be oh, well, it's slowing down now. Because a lot of people would come out the first week, 2 weeks because they want to be involved, not just because they want to know the movie or whatever, but also they want to be involved in conversations, and so you're going to want to see it the first 2 weeks. So it's going to slow down regardless, and they're probably not going to do the 45 days. So it's going to go straight into streaming, which is going to be easier access for everybody. Since we are in a pandemic, granted,
some people actually want to stay home.
Exactly. There's a lot of people that want to go out, but there's also a lot of people that either want to stay home or have to stay home because of their whatever situation, whether it's, they work at home or they're a stay-at-home, parent or whatever it is. They're going to want to see it. So it's going to work out, I feel for everybody. For the people who want to be out, you got your 45 days. And for the people who want to stay home, you can stay home and watch it. You don't got to rush into it.
True.
Got some people in the chat saying some cool things. Someone says, what's the point of going to a movie theater if I'm not going to see it in theaters? Oh, starting from the top?
Oh.
Okay, all right, then let's go through the comments really quick. Let's see where we at. Ding, ding, ding. This is definitely changing things, and this is from LXX, Junie, a.k.a. Missile T Pogi from Twitch. Shout out to you. This is definitely changing things and starting a whole conversation on contracts in the industry. It may only be a drop in the ocean, but it's a drop nonetheless. I agree. Nathan Gross from Bigo says he wants to see Free Guy. And then back to Missile T. I mean, also in theaters, they're dying. Continuing forward. Where we at? Ooh, it's looking juicy. If the theaters are still dead, despite the 45 days, we know that Disney will drop theaters or at least limit the releases that go in theaters. Yeah, Disney has that power.
That's all I was saying. I ain't even worried about them.
Disney has that power.
They know what they're doing.
Wait, Missile T. The last movie I saw in theaters was the newer Charlie Angels. How was that? Like, yo, to this day I refuse to see. It's the third remake. Like the third remake.
No, I'm not doing it.
Yo, what?
I haven't seen it either.
Oh my goodness. Oh. I love theaters every summer. My nanny used to take me to a movie theater every week. It was a thing. But theaters are dying. The streaming services that cut costs for families in the long run.
True.
Suppose so.
You know,
That is
you know what? To like add on, well, not add on to that, but like talk about that. You know what I would be okay with, Loki? Regular theaters going out of business, but drive-in theaters coming back and like playing old movies.
Okay. Because they started shutting.
Fair.
Started shutting down our drive-in theaters back at home because wasn't nobody going no more, and I'm like,
yeah, I would be fine with that.
They opened up a bunch of new ones here.
Yeah.
Yeah, during the pandemic, it makes sense that they did.
Yeah, I haven't gone to one yet.
And since we're on that, let's put a Sonic by them hoes too, because California need a Sonic.
And I've never been to Sonic.
It needs another Sonic.
I know. I have a lot of living to do, y'all.
Right, we got time. We got plenty of time.
I do have time.
There's some people in the world who have never been to Mike's. This is the one way.
Nathan was like, "What's the point of writing a movie if we're not gonna see it in theaters?"
Because you can see it in other places. We have access to so much.
I understand what the point he's trying to make.
I understand it, but it's like we're living in 2021 now.
High key, you should be able to buy a screen that's as big as your goddamn wall.
Yeah, that's like the thing now. Like tech has become super accessible and advanced. So it's like that's what they're saying. They're saying we don't need the theaters to watch stuff. So that's why it's like, you can still have a movie. I mean, we still have TVs. We have screens around us. I mean, there are bars that have TVs in there and stuff, and they be putting on movies and music videos and stuff.
Yeah,
why is that gonna? What?
No, go.
Why would people stop creating just because theaters are no longer open? Like that doesn't keep you. I mean, everybody goes on TikTok for like creation and entertainment. Why would you stop? If there is still ways for you to put out your content, like there's no
As long as humans like are alive and egotistical, then there will always be a theater. Let's start there. You know what I'm saying? And there will always be need for a theater. Because there are just some people in this world who can't handle reality, and not like, I can't stand that, but just like they just don't understand that like the game that we play that is reality is actually like your life is actually intertwined into it. You know what I'm saying? Some people just aren't there. So I feel like there will always be a theater in a sense, you know what I'm saying? Whether it's the literal physical theater with thespians, or it's the theater you go to AMC, you know what I'm saying? There will be a space for entertainment. So, oh wait, heart? I will come back to that. There will be a space for entertainment. So at the end of the day, as much as I do like the theater experience, I do love it. I think there could, like you said earlier, I want to piggyback off that. I think there could be a way for us to do theaters and better moving forward. Buffalo Wild Wings, Wednesdays, let's do certain movies, or like we only play Warner Brother movies at Buffalo Wild Wings, or if you go to Shoney's, we're only playing certain, you know what I'm saying? Like, because I feel like anywhere with power can now have a screen, can now have what's stopping me from walking into Denny's and from between 1 a.m. and 4 a.m. at Denny's on a Saturday night at any Denny's in America, they're gonna have a movie on the 70s, decades. You know, Saturday nights is 70s, Sunday nights is 80s, you know what I'm saying? But you gotta come between 12 a.m. and 5 a.m. where no one's at Denny's, you know what I'm saying? Why can't we drive traffic like that? You know what I'm saying? Don't steal my idea, Denny's. Do not steal my idea. Pay me. You guys stop playing games.
Sony at Shoney's.
Yeah.
Sony at Shoney's. Exactly. Stuff like that. I think that would be an awesome idea. But so I think at the end of the day, to wrap this up, at least for me, as much as I do like the theater experience, I think we can continue to have that in a new space, in a new place, because it's 2021. It's a new generation. You know what I'm saying?
But also with what you were saying, that you feel like there's always going to be a need. Nathan was saying about how, for him personally, he's always wanted to write a movie, but he wanted to make sure that it was seen in the theater. So with that being said, there's always going to be, I still believe what you're saying, there's always going to be a theater, because I mean, I was in a movie and it was shown in a theater, but it wasn't AMC theater. It wasn't, I don't know, the other theaters, whatever, the Regal, it wasn't in any of those theaters. It was in a different theater, a smaller theater, but it was enough for the people that were casted and all of our families and friends and stuff that wanted to see it. There's always going to be access to a theater. I'm just saying personally, like the franchises might not necessarily be a big thing anymore. That's what I'm saying.
The ones that's charging you $15 for popcorn. And
exactly, because there's places that are still like, I don't think a lot of the movies, I'm not sure, but for the red carpet like screenings and stuff, are they even at like AMC or any of those, or is it at like the Chinese theater or whatever?
It honestly depends. It depends on like how big the movie is, what the backing is. Like if it's big enough for like most movies, like stuff that Raul go to, which like Jungle Cruise for example, that just came out, like that's gonna be at like the big Chinese theater. But like movies that like are either B grade or like maybe not as like Disney's greatest movie for the summer, it'll be at like a regular theater, like AMC Burbank. But it's still like a little. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, it depends on the location of the theater. Like the ones where ArcLight used to be gone now. But the Chinese theater, those have like big openings and a street to do the red carpet on. But like AMC, they're not really, like the ones here, they're not really situated anywhere where you can do like a red carpet premiere. Like the one that I used to work at, they would have like during opening weekend, the stars would come in and watch the movie there, but that's not where the red carpet
was. Yeah. So that's what I'm. Yeah. So I don't feel all of them are necessary, but there will always be theaters.
I don't think we need the chains of like we don't. I don't think we need the chains. I think we. Because I feel like, because I know my friends have made shows and I went to premieres with other friends and they had theaters. I'm like, I didn't even know this was back here.
Exactly.
And then they have screenings and all that stuff. And it's like, some are intimate, some are actually big too. And then, I forgot where I was at, but it was like different rooms. And I'm like, is this an actual movie theater? It's not. It's just a big place where you can just scream for sure. So it's like we don't really need like the big AMC and all that stuff, overpriced stuff, and then you can have your places where it's like more intimate, and then you can bring your own food. Quit playing.
Exactly. That's like, you don't actually.
That's the way. Look, shoot.
To answer Malik's question about
Charlie's Angels. I also on the Charlie's Angels movie. I can't tell you if it was good or not because I was on a date. I'm weak. We picked it up on the spot. It wasn't bad though. Every time I looked up, for sure. That's fair. That's cool. I'll be honest. Like I've been dreadfully like trying not to watch that movie because like I feel like I'm not gonna have anything good to say about it. Like you know what I'm saying? Like it's like you got ugly kids. So I'm not gonna come to your house because I'm not gonna have nothing good to say about your kids. Like I'm not gonna do that.
I saw pieces of it and that's a smart decision.
Yeah. See. So, talking to the movie, I can get on that.
Oh, you already have a movie out? My movie is called
the premiere dates.
Oh, Rare
Moments of True Happiness.
Oh, for sure. If you
started writing it.
Oh, come on, let's get it there. Let's go.
Let's go. Woo!
Yeah, look.
Ready for it. Excited for you.
That's what it takes. You got to start writing it, a few hundred pages in, but you're going to make it happen. You got that.
And you'll have a theater to
stick to it. Give yourself a goal. Give yourself a time frame. Stick to it. Let's try to get it done writing before 2022. Let's see what we got.
To go kind of what Nathan said as far as being a creative and wondering why do I create if I won't be able to see it in theaters. I think it's more so on the flip side of what it seems like Disney's trying to do. It's like what are they going to do to adapt to make sure that their creatives and their talent and their actors get their fair share of what they've given them to distribute now that things seem to be changing as far as distribution.
Is it because of the such easy access that because people are kind of like, oh well, I can see it whenever, like I don't need to see it right now because of like the streaming stuff. Is that something that like I guess is a thought, like as far as making money and stuff? and getting the exposure, because it's when things are too easy accessible.
They'll be like, oh, I'll watch it next time.
Yeah,
I'll
wait to watch it or whatever. So with movie theaters, it's like there's usually only a certain amount of time that you can go to the movies and enjoy that whole experience.
And then you have to wait months.
Yeah, for it to come out or on like whatever, or
unless you got that specific streaming service. Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, that is hard because they've done it on with some of the things for Netflix, the limited series, where like you get a certain amount of episodes or whatever, and then it goes away. Like you only get it for a month. But that does become hard because they only get their stuff out like accessible for a month for free, and then maybe people are just not gonna want to watch it and buy it. So I guess that would that would just have to be trial and error, trying to figure out what works, what makes the most money, what type of marketing they need to do to make their stuff look like, hey, you need to watch this.
Yeah, because a lot of people are not watching regular TV.
Yeah.
And so everything's on streaming services, and that doesn't have commercials. So it's like, how you going to push it if don't nobody see it? But I guess people do still see it, you know. But
yeah, I mean YouTube, and there are some of the streaming services that are still doing commercials. Sure. But then you do have the option to not have commercials. Right. So that's also another thing that becomes hard. But I mean, YouTube's helpful.
Yeah. I would read that.
YouTube's very helpful.
Yeah.
You said what?
Sorry, no, I was reading one of the comments. Nathan Gross said he always wanted to read, or always wanted to write a book about a sniper waiting for their target and what they see over a 3-day waiting span.
Oh.
I think that'd be interesting, depending on if it's going to be political or sci-fi. Like, that'll be an interesting story.
Just keep seeing through the lens the whole time.
Right.
Ooh.
That's a drama, right? No Country for Old Men Part 2. The Sniper.
It's gonna be in a series of short stories, though.
Oh, nice!
Yes.
I like
that sounds really good.
I think that's what's Yeah, that's what's happening now, though. Like they're giving us like books within the Christopher Nolan did.
Okay.
I feel like I watched a movie that just came out and they was doing it
like chapters and
they
stuff.
Was doing chapters.
That's
and I was like, I actually
like Black
that.
Summer and
what we just watched.
Yeah.
We just watched the movie and they
Tomorrow War.
Ah, yes.
Tomorrow War, right?
No, but I did watch it with Raw.
Yeah,
because I was saying too. I was like, wait, there was another one.
Was it that one?
I think it was because I think I remember Raw saying something like, "Do they have these in chapters? What's happening?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, they do that in Black Summer."
And I was like, "Oh yeah, they Christopher Nolan did because his thing was like 4 hours."
Yeah.
And if he didn't do that,
I probably
would have been like,
4, chapter 2, chapter 3.
For the record, it's not necessarily a new thing.
Right.
Because if you go back to like DVDs, they had chapters in DVDs.
Oh yeah, but we just
no, we're saying like
they're just now putting it on screen.
Yeah, like the production, like it shows you like in the movie, like a Tarantino movie, like this is the chapter rather than just like.
I think it's like a good resurgence.
Yeah, for sure.
And it also, what I do love about it, as far as what I've been seeing, is it's not just a summary of what's happening. It's usually like a specific or important thing being said.
Yeah, quote
or it's something
that's happening.
But it's really fun to like it forces you to pay attention. Like, oh, what does this title mean?
If it's an eye for an eye.
Yeah. So it's like it's exciting. It's exciting because the two things, Black Summer and then Tomorrow War, it was exciting to like see that and be like, what y'all think this one's about to be about?
Right.
Like it was. I liked it. I liked it a lot. I could get used to that.
And if you guys don't know what we're talking about, we have another segment. We have 2 other movie segments. Talking to the movie, where we talk through the movie in a dissociative interface, where we watch the first 10 minutes, last 10 minutes of a movie, and then we give our opinion about what we think is gonna happen. We watch the movie through, and then we just rag on the director and the DP and everyone in the back. No, seriously though, like we give our opinion what we think is gonna happen. We watch it, we see what actually happens, and then having our expertise in entertainment, we give our 2 cents, how we liked it, what we did, what we would do different. It is what it is. So if you guys want to check those things out, as always, hit us up. Because I was thinking, what am I going to tell? As always, patreon.com, aquarium. YouTube, aquarium. Twitch, Gumby TV, it's different. The Patreon, YouTube, Aquarium. No, seriously, youtube.com/theaquariumaqm. Thank you guys for coming through and holding it down with us so far for this week's episode of The Current. Once again, before we go, let's go ahead and recap what we've talked about. Today, we've gotten into Suengri and the big burning sun scandal coming to a close.
With his 3 years.
3 years, my man's got. 3 years in the chopping block. Ugh.
For 9 charges?
Yo, bro, I hate to say it, but you set yourself.
That's a lot of charges for only 3 years. So he came out lucky.
Yikey, though, yeah.
He came
I feel
out
like
lucky.
But it depends on what it is.
Yeah. But I mean, like the sexual prostitution thing, because that's one of them. So I'm like, and for gambling, so that's at least 2.
Usually here, when you like got something to do with it, you got the same sentence as the guy that
yes. Yes, that literally happened. I play a character in a show, and it literally happened to this person. Like, the person that I played, her girlfriend killed somebody, but me, who I played, still got the same amount, actually got more years, a year more than the person who actually killed the person. You should watch it. It is Twisted Love, Love and Hot Lead, episode 3, I believe. Okay.
Yes. Wow.
Yeah, I felt so bad for that girl.
Jesus.
Yeah, because that bitch was crazy.
Story, right?
But yeah, they literally do that. So for him to have 9 charges, but at least 2 of them we know for sure, which is the prostitution and the gambling. 3 years, that is nothing.
Yeah.
So you got off lucky from what we are being
I think because
given.
they didn't actually have any evidence about the prostitution.
It
was just
the
like,
gambling.
Right, I think it's mainly the gambling, and then the rest of it's like they tagged on extra to just be like, we can't charge you for this, but we know you knew.
I feel like, again, with Asian culture and Korean culture, from what I've been learning from, like, you know, people and like K-dramas and stuff, and I know that's a bad thing to say, I'm learning from K-dramas. No, but I think Korean culture is like very kind, like very nice. So like the fact that they're at 9 charges, but you're only getting 3 years, it's like I feel like it's kind of like we could give you all of these and let you like run the whole thing, which could be like a 20-year sentence, but we're gonna like tack, you know, you're Korean, we're gonna tack some things off, you know what I'm saying? We know that we didn't raise you to be this child, so we're gonna go ahead and make sure that we give you space to grow. God damn it, 3 years, like yeah. That's I feel like that's the energy. I wish America was kind of like, you know, more caring about people's mentality. Yeah. So, Prince Andrew, story number 2. Yeah, and the whole Ghislaine Maxwell, Jeffrey Epstein, and the lady who's trying to sue him because of past happenings.
I feel like all of this is gonna unravel just more. This whole pedophilia ring
it's so deep. When I tell you it's so deep, like it's 2021, right? By 2030, when we get the realness about this pedophilia ring, it's gonna be like so deep that it was in your faucet in the house. Like it's gonna be deep in there,
And that's why I remember during COVID, like there was like between the dance industry and Hollywood. When I tell you, everything
LA was on fire.
Unraveling.
Fire.
If you are not, whether like into pop culture news and all that stuff, or like
2020,
Los Angeles, Hollywood, the
2020?
industry, the entertainment industries of all industries, like in dance and film and all that stuff, was unraveling.
The dance community was
on
fire.
Fire.
It was like who?
Yes.
Send it. I need all the receipts. Please send in the receipts to this email. So and so. We are building a case. I said, oh
yes,
y'all better get y'all shit together because this is not happening. This is not what we doing. This is not happening.
Yes. So to know
I don't even know what
that
it is
happened,
anymore.
like this is gonna just be more and more is gonna unravel. More and more people are gonna be put on like the chopping block. Like people's careers are gonna come dwindling down. Like it's just gonna. We're gonna learn a lot more about this whole pedophilia ring that's happening. No matter how many people are trying to shush it, no matter how many people are trying to use money, people are gonna get tired of it, and people's hearts are going to end up being like, hey, I can't fucking do this anymore.
That part.
I can't. And I'm excited because that's the shit that's happening right now. A lot of people are being tested right now. Their hearts, their beliefs, their morality, everybody's being tested right now. If y'all been feeling like y'all feeling a little crazy or there's been a lot of testing that you've been going through, it's because of this shit. And the natural disasters that are coming with it, that's what I'm saying. this is happening. Y'all don't think it's happening, but it's happening.
In front of your face.
The world is throwing away the bad and like bringing up the good. I'm sorry, but y'all, if you're not there, you're not there.
So a fact is, drug dealers and users get harsher charges in Korea than rapists and murderers. Oh, that sounds like America.
Yeah.
Yeah, because a lot of rapists and a lot of those people, like, either they don't get, there's not enough proof or whatever, or the money or the fame or whatever it is. So I mean that's no different.
Well, it happens in America because it's racially charged.
True. Yeah. Well, yes, that's true.
In Korea, with a mainly homogenous society,
True.
That's not the case. They just
for men.
They just look down on it way more than a rapist or a murderer doing drugs, selling drugs, because that's more associated with their gangs, and that's a bigger deal over there. To the point to where broadcastings won't even like display people who have tattoos because it's so deeply rooted in gang culture.
I also heard recently from someone in Asian culture, not Korean, but in Asian culture, Japanese, and like I think specifically like Southeastern Japan. Well, I have to get detail. But what I did hear about when it comes to tattoos, as far as like Asian countries. Not tattoos. The drug dealer thing. One, because in their countries, a lot of their countries, like drugs, or at least like the drugs that we use and that we're so addicted to in the West, were things that were introduced to them. You know what I'm saying? Because someone took like the poppy seed, the opium, and they were like, well, you can extract it and do this with it. It was like originally it was like a topical thing. Originally it was like it was different. So for them historically, it's kind of like a smack in the face because you know what I'm saying. Once again, here we are doing to our natural stuff that we don't like. Like you're taking this Western way of handling things and you're putting it on us. And what that ultimately does is break up the community and the history that is here. So at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? And in comparison, I don't know if this is true, but if I had to take that standpoint, in comparison, it seems like being a molester, being a rapist, it sucks and that really does suck, but that's you being accountable for you and that one person or these particular people, you know what I'm saying? As a drug dealer, every day you wake up and you get these people to come back and bloom. And it's not just like I come back and I touch you. I come back and I touch you and that money you don't have touches your kids. And now they go to school not eating because mom spent money from the drug dealer and I have to get her to come back so I can do it again.
Just like in NT1 when she saw him drinking, she was like, stop drinking. Like, you gotta take care of your child. Your child need to eat.
Right.
What is you doing?
At the end of the day, that's what it is. Like, it's like really like, you know, it's we're for the community. Like, whether I know you or not, we are one people. So if you're selling drugs, you have to sell it to us. You're not leaving the country to go to Colombia and selling to them. You're in your backyard. You know what I'm saying? You're selling to the neighbors, bro. We can't have that. I'm sorry. You could be a drug, you could be Escobar over there. Like, it's not it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I get it. That makes sense.
I'm learning so much. And then what was
the next one?
Subject?
Sorry, I forgot we were doing this big old Alright, so other than the what's it called? The Prince Andrew thing? Yes, we just finished that, yes. But alright, next we got into the lovable, wholesome Brendan Fraser. Yes, Mr. Fraser.
So happy you're coming back.
Yes.
I can't see my legs.
They wiggling over here.
You know what though, which is crazy now that we're talking about the Renaissance and the Brendaverse and everything like that. No, seriously, like I feel like they can make like a Brendaverse. Like they could be a situation where, and this could be like the start for like certain actors who have like taken the roles in several genres. They can do a situation where maybe there's like a 1-season show. Or it's like the Actorverse or something like that. And every season is like another actor's universe. So like the 10, 11 episodes in the Brendaverse would be like him and the Mummy, you know what I'm saying? Or like, I don't know, maybe like a Doctor Who, but just for the Brendaverse kind of thing, you know?
Well, I don't really know the Doctor Who, but when you were, as soon as you mentioned like a Brendaverse, I thought of a Gemini Man, how Will Smith how there was multiple versions of him.
Yeah.
So what I thought of was like, in the episodes, how you were saying, just generally speaking, having a different actor and their different like universes or whatever, but having that be like a story thing, like the character from The Mummy and the character from Monkey Bone and the character from have like whatever happened.
Yeah.
That's literally what I thought of.
And
when
somehow
you said
like
that.
through I don't know whether it's like through his career or like what it is, but like basically by the end of the season it like comes up with like this basically what you've watched in the season is the compilation of like his greatest works. And you got to like siphon through it, kind of like Loki, where like you're like in the movie, you're like, oh, this is the movie. Let me not, you know what I'm saying? Like kind of like that. I feel like that would be like really dope. Huh?
That'd be cool.
No, I was saying I didn't watch it, so I was letting them know like I don't know, but I'm a you know.
And again, even if it wasn't Brendan Fraser, I think like it would be cool to have this idea for like actors who were like
him
basically
and all his friends.
Yeah, basically actors who were like on like their last situation. They're about to be done with the game. Let's get you with like the comeback series, which is the Brennerverse. But instead of it being Brendan Fraser, it's the Betty White. Oh, the Betty White verse. Oh my god, that would be crazy. The Betty White verse. Yo, I would be there for Betty White's the White verse. The Betty verse.
The Betty verse.
But yeah, all right. And then last but not least, after the Brendan Fraser conversation, we got into the actors versus streaming service, where we're talking about Emma Stone, how she's closing the deal to be Cruella for the Cruella sequel. I haven't seen it yet. I actually gotta watch that.
I
know. And
free in a few weeks.
let's go.
Yes. Okay,
and
cool.
how
I heard that was good.
Which again,
I heard it was really good.
Which again kind of perpetuates what's going on. Like I didn't feel comfortable seeing it in theaters, and I wasn't gonna drop $30 to see it on Disney Plus.
Right.
But
yeah,
I waited the 2-3 months or whatever, and it's about to be free on Disney Plus.
Right.
Is
And
she
that-
going to get
money from
my stream?
that part.
I don't understand how
Wait, are you
streaming
asking, like,
services do that.
rhetorically?
Oh no, like
Like that's a conversation.
semi-rhetorically.
Yeah.
Like I know you guys can't actually answer that question,
But
I want to put the
insight,
question out there.
Got it.
Yeah, I always wondered how that happens. How you get money from streaming stuff. If you have just a monthly fee, like how is that going to like any of the people that put their stuff on? Like I don't actually know how that works.
It depends on again the contracts that you have and who's in those contracts.
Yeah.
You know, I know like with mine coming up, mine's gonna be based off of stream numbers. Like I know for a long time Netflix, people had issues with Netflix because they didn't release their information. They didn't release their parameters. You didn't know who watched what. They even took away
The stars.
their stars.
Yeah.
Because they didn't want people to be influenced by word of mouth.
Yeah.
Right, 5-star, right.
Yeah.
Now they just have the thumbs up, thumbs down, but that's just for you so they can suggest things that are like it.
Yes.
But they went a long time without releasing any of their like analytics of like who watched what, who their demographics were or anything. You had to be a producer on that project and ask them specifically for that information in order to get it. They didn't give it to you willingly, and they surely didn't post it publicly.
Right.
So it depends on who had the contract, because that would determine, because there were a lot of producers who weren't getting paid their back end because they didn't have that information.
Wow. All right.
Okay.
Netflix over here
Well,
fucking up.
yeah. So, point of the conversation is contracts.
Yes.
Like
contracts.
it's such
Like-
new waters at this point because
Yeah.
it's coming a norm.
Mm.
Yeah.
The people who've been operating in this already know everything that's going on. So the people who are just getting into it, they're like, they don't know what questions to ask. They don't know any of that. The actors aren't going to be like, oh, well, if you're going to put it on streaming, what percentage am I going to get from that? They're just worried about box office because that's all they've ever known.
Yeah,
Right.
these managers and agents, y'all need to do the research for your clients because y'all need to get ahead of this shit because I don't see it going away.
Agents and managers don't even want to take on clients that don't have a certain number of followers and stuff because they don't want to do the work to build up people's careers anymore like they used to. We don't have the agents that go out of their way to do the work to do their job anymore.
Yeah,
They want to hand it to them. They want to take on a client
They want
that
to
already has
and that's
2 million followers.
And that's why everybody got their being their own agent.
Exactly.
That part.
Exactly.
That part.
It is what it is. It's who you know.
Yeah. That's why this industry is just gonna fall apart. But we're gonna pick it back up. That's why we're here. That's why we're here.
Why not?
All right.
And then also, we talked about the Free Guy and Marvel's Shang-Chi or Shang-Chi, The Legend of the Ten Rings, how they have the 45-day situation. Again, if you guys didn't know, these two movies that are releasing from Disney Plus are going to be the experimental movies of the summer, in the sense of they're going to have 45 days for the theatrical release, the specific theatrical release, and then after that we're going to go to the HBO Max streaming services, Disney Plus streaming services, so on and so forth. So if you like the movie, or if you think you're going to want to see the movie, I'm not here to promote anything, but and you want theaters to continue in the way they are now, I would suggest go out and see the movie, tell your people to come see it, get a group of people together and go see it, get drunk beforehand if you're of age. Just really put effort into what you want to see in the future. At the end of the day, everything doesn't last forever, but if you feel that movie, at least the theaters in a sense, whether it's because you want to be a director or just because you want to be able to go out with your friends and enjoy a situation, please take your time and energy and put it into the future that you want to be able to partake in. And that goes for everything you do in this world and in this life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are we doing Shark Tank? Yeah. Anybody in the chat right now, do any of y'all have like any opinions you want to state about any of the things that we have talked about, or do you have any questions for us about any of the things that we have talked about? We are open to all.
Yeah, we're not gonna read that one.
If you in the house with your family, according to the state in which I was born, which is in the U.S. of Virginia, if you're in the house with your family and your mother or your guardian is there with you, then for sure you can do whatever your guardian allows. That's how Virginia works. But I don't know where you at, so I can't speak for you, so you can't drink. Nah.
That's the difference. Oh, nice. Big 35.
Oh, I'm so glad that Mr. T. Pogi says, I'm so glad that Netflix switched to the you like it or you don't. Here are the series based on your likes, because I used to watch stuff only based on others' opinions. 5 stars is a really small range. True.
Yes.
True. And then and it's not only 5 stars, but it's 5 stars underneath your preferences. You know what I'm saying? You could all like dramas. Now we're going to give you 5-star dramas that are all with female leads. So that's like 2 movies. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no. Nah.
I feel that.
Oh, Nevada for sure. You definitely can. You can do whatever in Nevada.
Dude, you are so
hilarious.
You're so close.
So close or so far away.
Yeah, I'm like, you're in Nevada.
Yeah.
You're right here. Anything else, guys?
Right. Don't forget to please come back every week. Tell the homies, tell the friends. We're doing this at the same time every week, 5 to 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you're in the West Coast of America, it's 5 o'clock. If you're in the East, it's 8 o'clock, I believe. And outside of that, I don't know, UK time, UT time. 5 p.m. PST is when we start. It's a 2-hour situation. We're doing current events weekly. And also don't forget to catch us for all of our K-pop, K-drama, filter feed, Boogie Basement,
Brackish.
Talking to the Movies, Brackish, Dissociative Interface. If you don't know what any of these are, then you're not on the Aquarium YouTube and Patreon.
Get there.
Get on it.
There.
Get on it.
Tell everybody. Because the more you tell, the more people know about us, the more we're able to sit here and do all this content, because it will help us in paying all the bills that we need to pay.
Right.
Yeah.
And not having to leave the house.
Right.
Right. Can't wait to do this with other people and, you know, saying cooler venues and whatever. You know, again, just like the K-pop channel and everything else you've seen us do, this is only the beginning. By episode 15, it's going to be different. You know what I'm saying? By episode 10, it's different. So, you know what I'm saying? Just stick in, support. We're making it happen. Love you guys.
Yes.
Appreciate y'all. See you on the next one. Drink water.
Nathan, I would be waiting on that movie.
Ooh.
I'm waiting on that movie.
Which one?
Nathan.
Oh, Nathan's movie.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, we're gonna hold you to it.
Yeah.
We're gonna hold you to it. If you're gonna type that up and write that up, we're gonna hold you to it. You can send us drafts. We do writing stuff on
and
the side.
happy early birthday if we don't see you again.
Hi,
Yes.
But
kids.
come back next time.
Yes.
For sure.
Oh, he'll be around.
We'll see you in 7 days. Y'all be easy, be blessed. Peace out.